all that. But please be safe and stay healthy during this Thanksgiving season. So glad you joined me today. As I promised, this is going to be about quick sketch. Now I'm going to give you a few things, and then the next time I'm going to go over them in more detail. But one of the things is to notice the lights and darks on whatever you're sketching. It could be your salt shaker, your vinegar in an oil bottle. It could be a flower, a piece. It could be your foot. That's what I sketched the first time, was my foot. And so you leave the whites. You draw the outline that you see, not what you think you see. And then you use the tools I'm about to show you, and then you darken the darks. Now, that all sounds like, okay, well, what, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's all right, because I'm going to demonstrate it, and I'm going to show you examples today and do the demonstration the next coffee break. So here's some examples. I divided my journal into 4 rectangles, and I've got a flower from the zoo, a rose from a photograph, a tulip from a photograph, same thing, and another rose from a different photograph. So what I was doing was I was just practicing to see what these roses look like, but mainly to find out where are there darks and lights. And you can see that that's where the light is reflecting on it. This is where it's in shadow. And what it should look like in the end. And one of the reasons I did roses, because I've been working on roses. And as you look at these, you can tell that really and truly, it's not about all the lines. It's about the lights and the darks, the values within the painting. Now, some people like to see the lines and do all that very detailed, but it just depends on what you like. But first of all, before you can do any of it, you need to be able to recognize where the values are. When I first started, and as I told you last time, I learned this from a gentleman's book. His name was David Rankin, and he had a book called Rapid Sketch, and I just fell in love with the concept because it taught me so much so fast. I was at my daughter's later visiting her, and this is a dogwood blossom, bird's eye view, a side view, a tulip, and a stump. And so it just opened up art to me so vividly that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I believe I can do this, because before I'd question whether or not I could do it, thought it had to be something you were born with, and I no longer believe that. I believe everybody can learn how to enjoy art and creativity. It could grow into a drawing, a painting. This is pastel and some colored pencil, but it's all about seeing the lights and darks to make it look like you want it to look. I have one more because I told you to darken the darks that I want you to see, and I actually learned to, and this takes a little bit more than 1 to 3 minutes. The little ones take a minute or two. The bigger ones take maybe 15 minutes at the most. But what I learned was when I'm finished and have it like I want it, I go in and darken the very darks. And this I do with charcoal. Now, we're not using charcoal today, but I wanted you to know about that because it doesn't make a shiny spot when you are darkening your darks if you want them to be really, really dark. All right, I'm going to open up this, and we will only get started with this, but I want to show you the tools. If you don't have this right now, you can just use a pencil of any kind, and it's the pressure that causes it to be darker or lighter. This is a 9B pencil, about the darkest you can get. As far as softness, it's because it's soft. And I do my pressure to get these 5 different values. I take my blending stump and I can smudge it out because it's such soft graphite. We'll get to the details next time. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good day.